On this next trip, follow along as we find ourselves clinging to a chain on the side of a mountain, trying desperately to overcome panic and a newfound fear of falling.
Welcome to our family adventures. We are a family of 3 from Florida who loves getting outside and exploring everything that this big, beautiful world has to offer. From hiking in the mountains to kayaking in the ocean and everything in between. Come along with us as we take on our next family adventure.
On this adventure, we fly out west to visit some of America's most beautiful national parks. We start off in Las Vegas and drive to Utah to visit Zion National Park, Capitol Reef National Park, Arches National Park, and then Solitude Mountain Ski Resort before ending up in Salt Lake City.
Welcome to Vegas!
Our very first stop on the trip was to the famous Las Vegas Sphere. The Sphere is currently playing host to an immersive 4D experience featuring The Wizard of Oz. An adapted version of the film plays on the highest resolution screen in the world and sprinkles in some interactive effects like real wind, vibrating seats, and apples falling from the ceiling. Even if you're not a die-hard fan of the film, seeing it like this is truly spectacular, and our family highly recommends it. Leaving the Sphere behind, we spent the next few hours walking the Strip on Las Vegas Boulevard. We explored some of the highly themed hotels and ran into some performers advertising an upcoming burlesque cabaret, making Lexi ask where their clothes were. And then Lexi and my mom wrapped up the day with a visit to the Mandalay Bay Shark Reef.
We are now headed over to the shark section. Fun fact, sharks are actually my favorite animals.
Mandalay Bay is home to one of the world's largest aquariums. There are over 2,000 marine animals here, including sharks, rays, sea turtles, and this really strange-looking guitarfish. We spotted these elk as we took the 2-hour-long drive to this beautiful Airbnb in Virgin, Utah, near Zion National Park, where we're staying for the next 2 nights. The house is right on the Virgin River and has 2 bedrooms, a full kitchen, and a pull-out couch in the family room. It was absolutely perfect for us to get some rest for the big day ahead. Waking up after a good night's sleep, we went outside to see the incredible landscape behind our house that we weren't able to see last night as we got in so late. You can see the sun is starting to rise over the mountains and reflecting off the Virgin River, which runs right through the backyard. Today is the day we've been most looking forward to since we started planning this trip. Our backpacks, hiking gear, water bottles are all packed and ready to go, and we're setting off into Zion National Park for the very first time. As we step off the shuttle bus at the grotto, it's important to note that planning this hike to the top of Angel's Landing started over a month before our trip. We joined the seasonal lottery and we were successful in being able to purchase a permit to make this hike today. Now, Angel's Landing is a bucket list hike for most day hikers, and we're certainly no exception. Angel's Landing is one of the most thrilling, dangerous, and scenic hikes in the entire country. It's known for its extremely narrow path lined with heavy chains next to over 1,000-foot drop-offs that you saw at the beginning of the video. The approach trail is spectacular in its own right as we pass by nesting spotted owls and arguably the most famous set of switchbacks in the world called Walter's Wiggles. The Wiggles are made up of exactly 21 switchbacks and are the culmination of the over 2.5-mile hike and 1,100 feet of elevation gain to arrive here at Scouts Lookout. Lexi and I explored Scout's Lookout here while Ashley went first to take on Angel's Landing. There were 3 park rangers stationed here at the trailhead, checking permits and IDs to make sure that the trail doesn't become overcrowded and unsafe. Now let's watch together as Ashley takes on one of the most mentally demanding hikes of her life.
Probably about halfway. Let's see how far so far. Valley floor. And what I've left to do. I think this is the spine. Kind of scary. Ooh. And we are at the top of Angel's Landing. This is Angel's Landing. Top of Angel's Landing.
We were incredibly grateful and happy to see Ashley coming back down the last of the chain-lined stairs. The sense of accomplishment and overcoming the voice of reason in the back of her head to accomplish this feat was truly impressive. Now it was time for both Lexi and I to take on at least part of the trail. And honestly, I've never really had a fear of heights until this exact moment. Something about being able to look over your shoulder and see straight down over 1,000 feet, where one misstep could lead to disaster, really got to me. With that being said though, I put one foot in front of the other and one hand on the chain in front of the next hand and made my way forward. We made it about a quarter of the way up and decided to stop here to enjoy the view.
Angel's Landing.
We decided to turn around here and head back to Scout's Landing and eventually down back to the valley. I will say though, Lexi really impressed me with how agile and confident she was on the trail. Me, on the other hand, I was just going slow and steady and focusing on one step at a time. Ashley, Lexi, and I went all the way up to Angel's Landing. And my parents also set out with us to climb the Scouts Lookout. They decided to turn back about 3/4 of the way up and to hike the Cayenta Trail to the Emerald Pools. Unfortunately, though, they said the pools were more brown than emerald green during our visit here in March. We eventually made it back down to the grotto and jumped on the shuttle bus to the parking lot and drove back to our Airbnb to watch the beautiful sunset. Since we still had a few hours of daylight left, Lexi and my mom decided to walk down to the river's edge. I, of course, quickly grabbed the camera and followed them down. This area near Zion National Park has been designated as an International Dark Sky Park, recognized for its exceptionally dark, starry night protected from light pollution. And boy, did the sky ever show off for us. Another beautiful morning here in Virgin, Utah, and this time we're dressed for a slightly different adventure. Today we'll be hiking the Narrows inside of Zion National Park. Narrows is a world-famous hike through the Virgin River in a slot canyon. And yes, that's the same river that runs behind our Airbnb.
Welcome to the Narrows.
Yesterday afternoon, after our hike to the Angel's Landing, our family visited Zion Guru to rent a full set of waders and a hiking pole necessary for today's hike. You can see they cover most of our bodies, but not all the way over the shoulders, which will become extremely relevant here in just a couple minutes. This is just one of those hikes you can relax and let loose and have fun. Sure, the riverbed is extremely rocky and slippery, and the current kept pushing you off balance, but it wasn't too strenuous. The accessible trail through the river runs about 5 miles deep, making it a total possible 10-mile hike, but since it's an out and back, you can turn around wherever you'd like. Our goal today was to hike about 3.5 miles in to get to a section called Wall Street before heading back. Now, the crowds were heavy at the trailhead, but we knew the further in we would get, the less people there would be, which motivated us to go as quickly as possible. We ended up splitting up, so Lexi and I went ahead, and Ashley and my mom took a more leisurely pace. This hike was just full of moments where you wanted to keep going around the corner to see what was there. At this point in the hike, Lexi and I came across a massive boulder blocking much of the riverbed, and this is where the coverage of our waders becomes extremely important.
Huh? I feel it's a bit too deep for our suits.
Yes.
Your backpack, so.
Is it? Grab the stick. Got it?
No, let's stop it.
Lexi was spot on. The river was well over our heads, and Lexi needed some help making it through the current. We ditched our now soaking wet outer layer and turned back to meet Ashley and my mom. Ashley and I then pressed on all the way to Wall Street. We all turned around here and made our way back to the bus, passing some deer. And then jumped in the car to head to our next stop on the adventure. Good morning from the Capitol Reef Resort in Torrey, Utah. We drove a little over 3 hours to get here, and we only have the one day here to explore. First things first though, Lexi's request for the trip was a 2-hour horseback trail ride through the Capitol Reef National Park. The ride was actually offered by our resort, so first thing in the morning, Lexi, Ashley, and my mom just had to walk out of their hotel room doors to get to the stables. Now, the ride took them through a number of scenic locations, including the Red Bluff, the Wingate Tunnel, and through the Petrified Forest. Heading into the national park proper now, we have 4 stops we want to make, including 2 overlook areas, a place to see petroglyphs, and the Gifford House. Our first stop is here at Gooseneck's Point. Our next scenic overlook is here at Sunset Point. Now, we were really looking forward to seeing some of the petroglyphs found in the park, especially my mom. These are ancient carvings estimated to have been made between 800 and 1300 AD. Next, onto the Gifford House, which is famous for making hundreds of pies every day from fruit grown in the park. Unfortunately, they usually sell out by noon every day, including today, so we were not lucky enough to get one this time. And to wrap up the day, we're heading down the famous scenic drive throughout the park, which winds its way through the canyons and next to the giant monoliths. At the end of the scenic drive, there's a trail called the Capitol Gorge Trail. Lexi and I explored it and found some more petroglyphs. Back in the car again, and we're driving to our next stop on the trip, to Moab. Moab is an outdoor recreation lover's paradise. It's near Canyonlands National Park and Arches National Park, where we are exploring today. It's also famous for its mountain biking and off-road UTV trails. This is the Windows Trail. The windows are two massive adjacent arches with a third south window that's the third largest in the park at over 105 feet long and 65 feet high. All of the arches in the park are made from sandstone and started their lives about 300 million years ago. Welcome to Arches National Park.
Slide back. Windows.
The back side of the trail is even better than the front. There's nobody back here, and the views are just phenomenal. This is the only area in the park that requires a guide and a permit to access. It's called the Fiery Furnace, and it's a maze of narrow sandstone canyons. Alright, let's turn up the adrenaline a few notches. Moab is known across the world for its off-road UTV trails. We booked a UTV through the Moab Tour Company to drive 2 of these trails, including Hell's Revenge. This is the warm-up trail. It's called Fins and Things, and we're here really to get comfortable with the UTV and gain confidence in its abilities for later. Our guide is in the front of the pack and uses a radio to give us advice and warnings on how to stay out of trouble. Although there's not much that these things can't handle. They can almost go completely vertical on the sandstone. This is the first of the big, nerve-wracking obstacles. We had to trust our UTV as I drove it over the edge here at a steeper angle than I ever thought a vehicle could handle. Our guide didn't use the radio just to keep us out of trouble. He also told us when to hit the gas and let it rip. Fins and things, the warm-up trail behind us, my dad now takes over driving, and we're climbing up into the famous Hell's Revenge.
Wasn't a good one to start with.
Since I drove the warm-up trail, this is the first time my dad's getting behind the wheel. He's definitely white-knuckling it looking over the edge here. This trail is intense. It has several of these almost vertical slick rock climbs and descents like this one, with legendary obstacles like Hell's Gate and Escalator as well. It's no wonder why the trail is known across the world. At this point in the ride, we're going to climb up this last hill to take a break with the beautiful Colorado River in the background just at sunset. After our quick break, it's my turn to jump back into the driver's seat. And I'm getting off to a rocky start, not sure if I'm going to be able to clear this turn.
Buggy 4, you're good.
Thankfully, I was able to get the wheel around and navigate down the hill without falling off the cliff. back half of the trail was a little bit less intimidating, but there were still plenty of opportunities to open it up and get some speed. There were a few technical climbs still left to navigate as well, and they were a little bit more difficult at night. Top of this very last hill on the trail, there's evidence of dinosaurs. Our guide got us out of our vehicle so he could show us some of the footprints left behind. We are enjoying the view out of Moab when our guide turns into a paleontologist and starts to describe the dinosaur footprints and markings left behind millions of years ago.
All three toes, you can kind of see the heel socket on both of them. They think this one was about 3 to 4 feet tall, basically like a vulture that didn't have wings, that would just go cruise around and pick all the meat off all the dead dinosaurs. Here you can see 2 toes right here. You can see a right and a center. Right there you can see a center and a right toe. You can see some claw marks right here. So these are all the little baby ones. So you can see all 3 toes really well on this one. And then you can see where the claw actually imprinted on this front one. So they think this one was about 18 to 23 feet tall. Okay. Could run around 30 to 35 miles an hour. So you can see all 3 on this one. You can see the claw imprint right here.
Let's go over this way,
So
guys.
pretty cool.
I'll show you something. I'm standing in a dinosaur.
Cool. Now stay away from the edge, please.
At this point, we've been out on the trails for over 2.5 hours, and it's getting very dark, very fast. We still have a few more obstacles to overcome before the end, so it's time to get a move on and head back. I'll be honest, trying to see all these bumps in the rock is very challenging when going very fast and only having headlights to light up what's directly in front of you. But thankfully, Ashley's sitting next to me and has a great set of eyes to help navigate us through the rough terrain. Just one more ridge to climb to get out of here, but boy, that is a tight squeeze and a very long way down. We made it. Now to the Moab Diner for dinner, and back to the hotel to get some sleep. Ashley and I are up before dawn the next day and heading back into Arches National Park for one of the highlights of our entire trip. We're doing a very early morning sunrise hike up to the most picturesque arch in the entire park, Delicate Arch. Flashlights in hand, cool breeze in our face, and the quiet of a lonely trail in the dark. This was a memorable experience that I will never forget. The hike itself was moderately challenging with about 600 feet of elevation gain over a mile and a half, but all that melted away when we rounded this corner and Delicate Arch came into full view. We arrived just as the sun was peeking over the horizon, and we can see all of the colors in the sky, and first light reflecting off the arch. Now the arch may look really familiar to you. Delicate Arch is featured on the Utah state license plates and is an iconic representative of the state overall. We really took our time up here, just taking it all in and letting go of our daily stressors. It gave us a new appreciation of the enormity and beauty of this natural landscape. A little later in the day, after a much needed nap, my mom, dad, and Lexi joined us as we entered Arches National Park one last time. This time we're heading to a trail called Devil's Garden, which is the home of Landscape Arch. We're on our way to our last stop on this epic trip across Utah and exchanging the hot, dry desert for the snowy slopes of Solitude Mountain Resort. We're up early the next morning and my parents have a full day at the Nordic Center planned, while Ashley, Lexi, and I have made our way to Brighton Ski Resort. Lexi and I are going to take a lesson and ski the Explorer trails this morning, and then the three of us will ski some of the green trails near the base of the mountain later this afternoon. Lexi's picking up where she left off after skiing in Breckenridge this past Christmas, but this is my first time skiing in over 5 years. It's also the very first time I've ever had a formal lesson, so we're starting at the very beginning for now with simple turns and body posture. Meanwhile, Ashley's heading up to the top of the mountain for some more difficult runs, and then eventually Lexi and I finish our lesson and meet up with her so we can all ski together in the afternoon. Being from Florida, we have a healthy view of the cold, or at least I do. So we're dressed up in our full heavy winter coats and multiple layers. But the weather is so warm here, even our ski instructor was wearing a short sleeve shirt. We're here in the middle of March, and you never know what kind of weather you're going to get this time of year, but the highs were in the mid-50s during the daytime. So we quickly ditched all of our jackets and got back on the slopes to get in as many runs as possible before the snow started to melt off and turn into what they call mashed potatoes skiing.
Good job, Mike.
We did several runs that afternoon, taking the majestic chairlift up and the Mary back and Lost Maid trails back down. I really started to gain some confidence, and Lexi loved picking up some speed and popping over some of the bumps carved out to see if she could catch some airtime.
Straight up.
Eventually, we all agreed we were completely exhausted and skied back down to the lodge to hang up our skis for the day, knowing we would be back again tomorrow. At the Nordic Center, my parents strapped on cross-country skis for the first time in decades. They used to ski all the time when they lived in Milwaukee, and although they didn't take many pictures, they had a great time. Dinner was a bowl of chili and a Gators March Madness basketball game back at Solitude. And and Lexi played in the snow, then we all went to bed. It felt really good to sleep in today, but we didn't waste much time in getting back over to Brighton for another full day of skiing. Today's plan is to make our way over to the Snake Creek Express lift and head to the top of the mountain for some longer runs. Ashley had the camera again today, so all this point of view footage is from her. And what I didn't know is that in order to get to the Snake Creek chairlift, I had to go on my very first blue run.
Dad, can I tell you a secret?
Lexi let me in on her secret that it was in fact a blue run. Somehow I survived. We took the Sunshine Run down, which was a green. It was wide open with a gentle slope with a few steeper sections, but overall pretty manageable for me as a beginner. And of course, Lexi and Ashley had no trouble at all. After completing the run, we walked up the mountain to the Snake Creek Mountain Lodge for a quick lunch and to give our feet some rest. Ashley went up for another run while Lexi and I waited for her at the lodge. However, by this time the sun had come out and the snow was starting to melt and turn into mashed potatoes.
Slushy.
Ashley quickly finishes up her solo run through the slush, and then the three of us went up one last trip up to the top of the mountain. As you can see, it was very warm for a ski day. There were so many people in t-shirts, shorts, we even saw swimsuits. This guy didn't have a shirt on at all. I guess he wasn't planning on falling. To wrap up the day, Ashley and Lexi went back to where we started, on the Majestic chairlift, while I grabbed a Gatorade at the lodge.
Here's Lexi. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi.
It's really touching to see the two of them being able to ski together. Lexi's confidence and skills have come a long way since she first started skiing not too long ago, and Ashley was able to help provide some coaching tips along the way. Now, while we were off skiing all day at Brighton, my parents decided to take a different approach and take it easy today. They explored all the shops and restaurants and things to do around the Solitude Mountain Resort. Lexi and Ashley have time for one last run, as soon we'll need to pack up and head to Salt Lake City and get ready for our flight home tomorrow. Hey Lexi, did you have a fun time skiing?
Yeah, I had a great time. My mom even took me on a black.
I think we all had a great time on this trip. We visited 3 of the country's most scenic national parks, including a spectacular sunrise hike to Delicate Arch, a true bucket list experience to hike to the top of Angel's Landing, an epic UTV trail in Moab, and a trip to the iconic Las Vegas Strip. And we even got to ski for 2 days. This has to rank as one of the most action-packed and diverse trips we have ever done, and I would highly recommend this trip, or something like it, for any family. As always, we are incredibly appreciative for these opportunities, and for our close-knit family that we get to experience these places with.